I felt kind of weird, looking at big league hitters while I'm on this flight, just with a bunch of other normal people going about their day. But it was a good time for sure.
All right, we're here with Connelly Early, who is making his Section 10 debut. I know that you're tight with Peyton Tolley because I met you when you were with Peyton Tolley. He actually made a comment this morning. I think he said another podcast was like the best place to talk baseball. So we're gonna top that in this interview with Connelly Early. A year prior, did you think that you would be sitting here in mid-November being able to reflect on not only your Red Sox debut, but your postseason debut?
No, not at all. This is pretty crazy for me. And this past season was definitely a full whirlwind of a bunch of different events that, I wasn't expecting at all. So having this time in the offseason just decompress a little bit's been pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like, a lot of Red Sox fans got introduced to you this year. And I mean, I get it. Like, like Tyler here, Coley, Steve to a certain degree, like we're in the weeds on like the minor leagues and we know who's who and what's what. But for a lot of Red Sox fans, you were a new name this year. You went from climbing up the ranks within the minor leagues to getting the call to start a postseason game for the Boston Red Sox. Was there a moment in any level, AA, AAA, where you had a specific game or it was a specific incident or moment where you were just like, I'm big league ready now?
I feel like the whole season I was trying to get as ready as possible for the big leagues. Not knowing what role that might be, but always trying to give myself the shot of getting called up as early as possible. And I didn't really know if that was going to be a possibility at all, just because we have a lot of depth from the pitching side of things, and knew some guys were ahead of me, or at least thought so, and then ended up, getting the opportunity and just want to capitalize on that.
Yeah, I mean, like you seem like someone that obviously doesn't lack confidence in your own ability. I feel like you're someone that's polished, and that was very apparent from day one. Just watching your big league debut, I was like, you're telling me right now this is a big league debut. Like, you seemed very polished and comfortable, and you had a mound presence to you. Where does that, I guess, confidence come from? Like the ability to just slow down the moment. Is that something that you were able to teach yourself through experience? Was it a coach that kind of had to talk you through a specific start? Like where did that mound presence come from?
Honestly, just feel like it's been built over time for sure. I feel like West Point did a bunch for me, just dealing with people yelling in my face freshman year. So I feel like when you go through that for a full year and go through the summer training there, whatever's thrown at you, you can kind of deal with. So I feel like that builds some resiliency, and then just being out on the mound feels like a place of peace for me. And I've always done it my whole entire life. I've always pitched and always loved to go out there and do that.
Was there did you feel any of that in Yankee Stadium? I mean, like I'm old enough to where I got to go to Yankee Stadium right before it shut down. Like the original Yankee Stadium, like that place was loud and hostile and whatever. The new Yankee Stadium, what was that like being on the mound in a playoff game in front of obviously a hostile Yankee crowd? I mean, Steve was there. I mean, I didn't really get because we were streaming, so I couldn't even hear the broadcast. Was it, comparatively speaking, Steve, where was it at on like the hostile scale?
I mean, it was hostile. I might as well just get into this now. This is, I was going to ask this later. I didn't know if we're going to go to like chronological order of your season. Obviously, it came on later in the year. But I was there with our guy, Mikey, and we were watching your bullpen. And honestly, not as many people chirping you as I thought. I thought there'd be more people yelling stuff at you. There was this one kid that was screaming at you and wouldn't stop. And you were just so locked in. I know you say the West Point thing where people are screaming at you, so this like 14-year-old isn't going to rattle you. But I guess I'll ask that, where yes, the environment when you were out there was hostile, but did you, from the bullpen to the mound, do you just, close that out? Is that really something that you can just put to the side and just focus on pitching?
Yeah, I feel like the bullpen was probably the most hostile part about it for sure. I remember, you walking out to the field, you get some boos, obviously, and then when you're walking into the bullpen, they were getting after me a little bit. Couldn't really piece together what they were saying. But
I couldn't either, and I was standing right next to him.
Gabagool! But all that stuff's fun, to deal with and try and pitch after that is a good time. But going out there onto the mound, it's so loud in that stadium that it's kind of just like white noise in the background because you don't know what anybody's saying. They're all just screaming. So outside of when Judge comes up to the plate and you get the MVP chant, that's really the only words that you hear out there.
I will say the other thing with the bullpen, and Mikey had captured this video, but we're, just always trying to get shots. You guys warming up, guys on deck. We're just trying to make it feel like people are there, like at the event. And you had something very specific that I've never seen a pitcher do, where you had your hands on your side and we're just standing there for a good, this was obviously after the anthem. It was probably for like 2 minutes. And I pieced it together pretty quickly. I think you were waiting for the flags to be off the field, so it was like a sign of respect type of thing. At first, we're like, oh man, he's just like that locked in that he's just trying to, get ready for this start. But then we see the flags finally go off. You go back into your warm-up. What was that? Like, what's going through your head in that moment? Because obviously, and everyone's going to say, oh, it's the biggest start of your life. Of course it is. That's no shit. Like, you're a rookie and you're at Yankee Stadium. It's a do-or-die game. But take us in the mind of like where you're at, about to finish your bullpen. And that's kind of when people ramped it up a little bit, because when you're done with the anthem, it's like, oh, this thing's about to start. Like, where are you at before you head out there on the mound?
Honestly, kind of blank in the mind, kind of blacked out during that moment. There's so much going on around you, and it's just like focus on the last couple pitches that I have before walking out onto the field, catch my breath, and go dap up Narvaez, high five all the pitchers, and go in there and just try and be as relaxed as possible and ready to go out there.
T, I know you're dying to get in here.
Definitely. There's one thing from Alex Cora that like really stood out was going into your first start. He had said a pitcher never came to him before a game with as much prep who would put that kind of time and work in. And for you, what did that mean to hear a manager like Alex Cora come out and kind of cite that? But the research you kind of put into every start, is that just what gives you the confidence to go out there and do your thing? Because we hear from like Lucas Giolito, he plays MLB The Show, and that's how he would kind of get his mind right and he'd kind of plan. What goes into your plan and what's kind of the preparation behind it?
Yeah, I meant a ton that AC said that about me, and I started doing it in AAA. One day I showed up to the field super early on a start day and had 7 hours at the field. Before the game time. So I got bored, went on to True Media, started looking at, the hitters on the other team, and just kind of stuck with that after that one outing because I did pretty good. And the coaches were pretty impressed in AAA and said, you're going to have to do that at the big league level as well. And it'll make you feel more confident. So kind of just stuck with that. And then took that into the first game, did most of that like when I was on my flight going into Denver and then obviously to Sacramento. So I felt kind of weird, looking at big league hitters while I'm on this flight, just with a bunch of other normal people going about their day. But it was a good time for sure.
You ask the flight attendant, you got anything for Kurtz? I'm
It's got to be a cold spot there somewhere. We got to attack this guy. It's incredible. What was that like? I mean, your first start's in Sacramento. Like that had to feel.
Did that help because it was still just a AAA park? Like I'm not even trying to shit on Sacramento, but did it help mentally?
I don't know if it helped or not, honestly. Just being the MLB debut itself, I feel like it could have been anywhere, and I would have been just as amped either way. So I feel like that was probably outside of the playoff start, that was the most amped I'd been for start that whole entire season for sure.
So I think you had, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you had like bases loaded in the third or fourth inning or something with one out. And I'm like, all right, this is big. This is kid's first start. Let's see what he's made of. Of course, you get out of it. You stay obviously level-headed the whole time. But what was that experience like? Because that's the first. Obviously, you get the intro to the bigs, and you get through the first inning, and your family's there, which is great. But that was your first adversity. How did you attack that?
Yeah, at that point, I was just, trusting in Narvi making the right pitch calls. He does a great job behind the dish. And before I even showed up, when we had our pre-game meeting for all that stuff, it seemed like Narvi had already caught me 10 times. Like he knew the sequences that I like to do. He knew what I like to, use behind in counts, use in plus counts. And he pretty much, gave me the game plan, and I just had all my notes and was like, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Like, I don't really have anything else for you. Yeah, I agree with you, man.
I had the same shit from the Delta flight. Yep.
But yeah, just going out there. Obviously, getting the bases loaded is a tough spot. So just trying to execute one pitch at a time, and not trying to make each pitch too important. Just attacking one pitch at a time, so it doesn't spiral on you.
I know that when we had Narvaez on this podcast, he said that he has a specific energy that he likes to keep with each pitcher. I mean, 4 starts and then a postseason start off the top of my head. Did he catch all 5?
I had one catch, one of them. I think the one in Tampa Bay.
Okay, so four starts with Narvaez behind the dish. He said that, and I don't even know how many mound visits, if any, that I can recall. Did he come out to how many mound visits can you remember?
I don't think he came out solo for any mound visits, just when AC or Bales came out there.
Interesting. Okay. So like how, when he's discussing stuff with you, obviously, I mean, it's great that you guys are on the same page, but to, I guess, get you calm for a start, to get you on the same wavelength, like what are those conversations like with him besides just, we agree on how to attack these guys?
Honestly, he just seemed like he was ultra locked in every single time I talked to him. Like hyper focused on how he wanted to attack the hitters, just completely dialed, even if that was, 5 hours before the game, sitting down and just talking with the coaches about, this might be a good sequence for this guy. This is a good option here. This is a good option there. And I mean, I don't know. He seems like he's just the ultra competitor, has that mindset, like a bulldog mentality behind him for sure.
I love Carlos Narvaez, man. I love this guy.
Yeah,
everything we hear about Narvaez is like, I know we started like to call him the captain early in the year. Like he is kind of the captain of the team.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I want to say for your big league debut, I want to say, were we live streaming, Coley? Yeah, we were. Okay. So yeah. You were making your big league debut in Sacramento. Dallas Braden, obviously, he does Baseball is Dead with me and Jay Hay, and he was kind of like in between innings would join the stream, and we were going back and forth being like, all right, like, who do you see when you watch Connelly Early pitch? Like, who are you seeing right now? And I think we both arrived on the same comp. Do you have a big league from like a mechanical perspective? Do you have a comp for yourself? Because like once we saw it, we were like, yep, that's what it is.
Don't personally have a comp. I've tried to, mimic a bunch of different pitchers, and try to move down the mound like them. Obviously, I look a lot different than a lot of guys when they're moving down the mound, but I think that I'm doing something right to make it look like them. But I've heard a couple Kershaws in there. I've always
you also look like Kershaw.
Yeah, you look like I feel like I'm talking to like a 22-year-old Clayton Kershaw right now.
Yeah.
But
that had to be emotional with him, finishing his last season. That was probably tough for you. But
yeah.
No, yeah. I love watching Kershaw growing up, and then I always was a huge Aroldis Chapman fan, so tried to always sit into my back leg like Aroldis Chapman does. Obviously, I can't do it because I'm not a freak like him, and not as strong as him. But it's always nice to try and do something that a guy does who throws 102. So
the name that we threw out was Cole Hamels. Like I see a lot of Cole Hamels in the mechanics and like the tempo and all that. Have you watched any of his career?
I did watch Cole Hamels growing up for sure. I didn't try to really ever match his tempo or anything like that. But I don't know.
It's interesting. Yeah. Cole, you were going to say something?
No, T's been dying to say something.
T is so ready for this.
Dying.
This better be great, T.
I have this moment in my head that I could still remember. It was during one of Crochet's last starts of the year, and it was like I think it was Kyle Harrison, were like kids in a candy shop, like watching him as he was just dealing out there. And I was kind of wondering what it's just like as a fellow lefty. Obviously, he's built like a pig. He's a different kind of animal. But to kind of stand next to him and learn from him and see, like, the guy who finished second in Cy Young voting in the AL, what were you able to kind of pull from him, and what's it like just being teammates with him?
Yeah, I mean, in game, I would go up to him if he wasn't pitching that day and kind of ask him, how did you attack this guy, or how would you attack this guy? And it was like rapid fire. Like he'd be like, oh yeah, I just throw, sinker here, four seam here, got spin down, or like spin away, backdoor, first pitch, all this stuff. All this stuff that he can go out and do because he's nasty out there. But yeah, watching him in Toronto, I was sitting next to Kyle Harrison, turned to him, I think towards the end of the 7th inning or something like that. Was like, dude, what can this guy not do? Like, he's just getting everybody out. He goes out there, shoves every single time. The innings are quick, and it looks like he's not even trying. Like it looks like it's almost easy for him. Obviously, he's working his ass off every single day in the gym and from a training room perspective and everything like that. But when he's out there, it just looks easy to him.
All right, we're going to take a quick break from our interview with Connelly Early to talk about Mando fall skier, football season, yard work, maybe even hunting trips. But let's be honest, staying fresh can be a challenge. That's why you need to hear about Mando deodorant. From your pits to, everywhere else, Mando has high performance odor control and sweat control that actually lasts all day. Forget those colognes that just mask the stink. Mando blocks odor before it starts. It's one stick, two jobs. That's coverage through double time, overtime games, the weekend project, even those extra long pre-holiday shifts. You are good to go. It's not magic. It is science. This isn't your typical deodorant. It's clinical strength, 2 times better at controlling sweat than just the standard. It controls both sweat and odor for 72 hours. And after just 12 hours, underarm sweat was reduced by 92%. This stuff works. It doesn't just mask the odor, it prevents it. 100% of study participants experience all-day odor protection. Unlike other deodorants loaded with chemicals, Mando uses only premium ingredients like gentle mandelic acid to keep you fresh and dry. Mando's new Deodorant Plus Sweat Control Solid Stick gives you double the protection you need. No more worrying about sweat stains, those embarrassing pit rings. Just all-day freshness and dryness. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive promo code. That is section 10 SECTION10 at shopmando.com for 20% off site-wide and free shipping. SHOPMANDO.com. Please support the show. Tell them that we sent you. Mando's got you covered with deodorant plus sweat control. Say goodbye to sweat stains and say hello to long-lasting freshness. Also, where would we be without Blue Moon? Come on. Blue Moon was born in a ballpark at the Sandlot Brewery in Denver, Colorado, so it's no wonder why you crave it. Blue Moon's bold flavor, bright explosion of color, and iconic orange slice ritual guarantees a one-of-a-kind beer drinking experience year-round. And for those occasions that you want a lighter option, reach for Blue Moon Light at only 95 calories and 3.6 grams per carbs per 12-ounce serving. It's refreshingly light alternative beer brewed with real tangerine peel. Looking for great-tasting non-alcoholic beer? Try Blue Moon Non-Alcoholic, still made with real Valencia orange peel and coriander with just 80 calories. Inspired by the beer you already love and available year-round, a wheat beer from Blue Moon with exceptional taste at only 95 calories, brightly brewed with real tangerine peel, tastes light and refreshing. Nothing compares to the great taste of a Blue Moon Light. Blue Moon made brighter. Get Blue Moon Light delivered by visiting get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared for delivery options. That is get.bluemoonbeer.com/Jared. Blue Moon made brighter. Celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Back to the show.
Talking about dugout stuff real quick. The standing up during the innings, obviously, or the half inning where you're not pitching, I get like antsy at home watching you antsy in the dugout. Has this been a thing your entire career? And is it, I don't want to say it's a nerves thing, but it's probably part of you just staying in the game, maybe like keeping that rhythm going. Is that what's going on there?
I've always moved around a ton. Like if you have me grip a ball and try and show you a grip in the middle of a game, my hand will be shaking like crazy, just from, I guess, the adrenaline and everything going on. But I started doing that in AAA because at the start I was sitting down in between innings, and then go out there, and my first couple bullets wouldn't be the best velos, and then I'd be trying to like build back up from that. They're like, dude, you got to be able to go out there, and from pitch one, you got to be at the right velo, just so then it makes it more difficult on the hitters. So it's like, all right, I'll just have to stay on attack in the dugout, moving around as much as possible. So then when I get out there for, the third, fourth inning, I'm ready to go from pitch one.
You mentioned velocity and, obviously like the scouting reports with you were when you first came up, it's like, all right, he'll be, like low 90s and, not a big strikeout guy. And then your debut, it's like he's blowing 96, 97, and he just tied the Red Sox franchise record for most strikeouts in a debut with 11. How validating was that moment for you? And also, where did that come from? Like the jump in velocity, because it maintained. Like it was, a lot of people were like, all right, it was his big league debut. Like, let's see what he looks like, in the forthcoming starts. And you were touching 96, from that point forward. So what? Did something click? Was it, the fact that you were in the big leagues and the adrenaline part of it, or like what was the explanation for that?
Yeah, my velo progression took a really long time. In college, as a freshman, I wasn't throwing very hard, and then it just kind of kept ticking up every single year. Obviously, got the pro ball, was able to use a little more data and everything to move down the mound a little bit more efficiently, get in the weight room, work on some weaknesses that I had. And just over time, I think that helped me obviously build strength and build up that velo for sure. And then, being in the big leagues, being in front of a bunch of fans, obviously I feel like helps with the velocity for sure.
And like everyone's like, oh, well, it's the A's had like a top 10 offense in baseball.
Yeah, they could hit, they could swing.
Yeah, it's like they may not be able to pitch, but that lineup's pretty scary, like pretty ferocious. And you just come up and punch out 11. Obviously, very impressive. Do you have any, I guess, goals based on the things that you accomplished in the short time in the big leagues? Are there things that you want to build on for 2026?
Yeah, for sure. I just sat down and had my player plan meeting with Bales and some of the other pitching guys, just to go over certain things on how we want to attack left-handed hitters next year, right-handed hitters, what I can maybe do to the pitches, and then obviously trying to gain some weight, put on some mass, try and look a little bit more like Crochet maybe, so I can go out there and throw a little bit harder.
Yeah. Steve's got a great workout plan.
Yep. You just lift the food right in your mouth. That's how you add the weight.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So hopefully, that'll help with the velo and help a couple things tick up, and we'll see what happens in spring training.
So everyone here except for Tyler, we're in our mid-30s. So like our Red Sox fandom.
We're young, Connelly. We're young.
Yeah.
The hell out of here, too.
By the way, we have the same birthday buddies.
Hey.
Yeah. I think we could call it 20, 30 years of Red Sox fandom.
Hit the horn, Jerry.
Hit the horn, Jerry. Birthday boys. Very good stuff. We have a big chunk of Red Sox fandom in that realm, though. They've developed John Lester and Clay Buchholz, like not an organization known for developing pitching. Not an organization known for developing pitching. So how would you describe, because they're obviously Craig Breslow, Andrew Bailey are trying to change that reputation. How would you describe where the organization is at now in terms of developing pitching, you being a success story of that?
Yeah, I think we're in a really good spot, honestly. All the guys that got drafted my year, I thought, that was kind of right when Breslow came in, the year after that, or after our first fall. And I feel like, the group's who were there before us also bought into the program that we were doing in the minor leagues, and I think it, if you look at a lot of guys, so many guys got way better and have been performing really well in the minor leagues. So I feel like we're pretty deep in the minor leagues with all the pitching that we have, and there's a lot of guys who are one step away from being up here or having a shot for sure.
How do you balance that competitiveness with, this is my teammate, we're on the same team, but also there's only so many spots where I'm trying to go. Like, we both want to be the best version of ourselves, but I would like to play in the majors, and as would you, but there's only so many rotation spots.
Yeah, I mean, I'm close guys with so many guys in the minor leagues. Get along with mostly pitchers because those are the guys that I'm spending most of my days around. And I have catch play with. I'm working out around the same time, on the same schedule as them. So obviously it's a little harder, to keep in touch, or I guess like you're not working out with the position players too much. They got to do their hitting stuff. So you don't see them too much because they're bouncing around all over the place. But I've always been super close with all the pitchers on each one of my teams. And I feel like, we all go out there trying to compete for ourselves and for the team. And we're all just pushing each other to be better. So I feel like somebody going out there throwing a really good outing is just pushing me, to go back out there and try and do the exact same thing. So when you're building on each other like that and have that competitive aspect, I feel like, if it's not with the Red Sox, then, maybe you have a chance with another team for sure.
Right.
So I'm always curious of the, we all went at the same time.
Go ahead, Steve.
So my bad. I'm always curious of the recap of the Fenway debut. And I know as a fan, I love seeing it. Love being there for Roman, was there for Bayo, there for Tolley, there for a lot of these guys, even Crochet. I know that's not an MLB debut, but, Red Sox Fenway debut. What was that like for you? Obviously, you get the A's in back-to-back starts. Greg Weisser wanted nothing to do with you and Tolley getting a win in your first Fenway start, but that's a separate conversation. What was that, from getting to the park to then the end of your outing? How would you sum that up?
I would say it's pretty similar to the debut. A lot of the time I was just honestly blacked out because I'm experiencing everything for the first time. You're trying to take in the crowd for sure. Obviously you see the monster for the first time when you're actually standing on the mound is pretty sick. And then, the crowd, the electricity, everything along with it is just amazing, and everything that you would hope for. And, you watch it growing up. You watch so many games at Fenway. You watch so many games at, these big parks like, I don't know, Wrigley's another one that I can think of, just because they're historic places, and you don't really ever imagine yourself. You don't really ever imagine yourself, being out there on the mound until you have that opportunity. So it was a really good time for sure.
T.
Back in 2023, 2024, the offseason program, there was a huge piece put out kind of today from Jen McCaffrey saying how you had perfect attendance throughout all that. You were kind of the poster boy for a lot of the things they were doing down there at the time. What's your setup this offseason that you're doing differently after your debut in terms of workouts and stuff like that? And what did that program in 23 and 24, which is being credited for helping all these kind of pitchers the last few years take these big leaps, what did it do for you during that time?
Yeah, so I did the off-season training program down there in Fort Myers. They have a group of pitchers and a group of hitters every year go down there. Usually it's just a new draft class, and then some other guys that they invite to come down and do all the workout stuff, do the throwing stuff. And my first year was a little bit different than my second year. My first year didn't push it too much from the throwing side of things, just really got into the weight room, tried to lift as much as possible, put my body in the best spot. Then this past off season, did a bunch of throwing stuff, did some more pull downs, tried to move the body as fast as possible, and just build my body to be able to withhold, a higher velo and see if that would help during the season. So this off season, I'm living from home, working out in Richmond, throwing in Richmond, still taking in consideration everything that the Red Sox obviously give me, and then using certain pieces of that I like, and also intertwining it with the guys that I'm working out with.
How has it been with Chris Murphy getting traded the other day? I've seen you refer to him kind of as like the spin doctor a little bit, someone you could work with in that department. What's the impact he's kind of had on you, and obviously the evolution of your sweeper over the last 18 months or so?
Yeah, so when I got called up, I hadn't ever been around most of the big league guys. Wasn't in big league spring training or anything like that. So the only guys that I really knew was the guys that I had met in AAA from rehab outings, or guys who have been sent up, called down, all that type of stuff. And then obviously Tolley, Roman, Marcelo, all the young guys that, kind of in the same boat as me, or I guess not really the same boat as me because they're higher names than me, but
Stop it. Stop it.
No.
You're part of it now. You're part of it now.
Roman's Roman.
Second round pick for one. I can keep him humble.
But yeah, I mean, Murphy was one of those guys that I had some time with in AAA, and I was struggling a lot with changing from the minor league ball to the major league ball, and had him, help me with the curveball and sweeper. Because his pitch shapes are pretty damn good, and he's from the left side, so that was always good to have.
What was if you can think back to the post call up and the postseason, the most eye-opening conversation that you had with a teammate in the dugout, like maybe something that was, I guess, the most profound thing where you're like, oh, I never thought about it that way, and then it changed your way of thinking.
I would say after my MLB debut, the next day, I went into my meetings with all my pitching coaches and everything, and doing all that type of stuff, keep going on about my day. Obviously threw pretty well that outing, and Bregman comes up to me. He's like, hey, man, we got to make sure you're not tipping pitches. And I'm like, dude, can I have like one day or something, But no, yeah, he was on me. He was like, yeah, I can see certain stuff from third base, or at least he thought that he could see stuff from third base. So worked on that a lot in bullpens and everything. And that was something that, I hadn't ever really considered, haven't really worked on too much. And obviously something that people are looking at a lot higher level in the big leagues, and try to lock that in.
It feels like such a Bregman thing. Hey, man, we got a problem.
He never let that Astros way of thinking never left him. He was like, how can I go deep off this guy?
That stuff is super valuable, though. I mean, the manager, he knows, like, he's one of the best at finding that too. And I mean, it's beneficial. Like, I understand that when you're out there, there's a million things that must be going through your mind, and how you want to attack the hitter, and remembering pitch sequences that you might want to approach. And then on top of that, it's like, now I have to protect my pitches. Like, and now I have to like make sure that as I'm going through my mechanics that I'm repeating the same way so that I'm not tipping. How difficult is that? I mean, after one big league outing, you have that in the back of your mind, and it's like, oh shit,
to think about.
Yeah, like when you're I guess when you're going through like your bullpens, is that something that you have to, I guess, tell people around, like, hey, watch for this, make sure I'm not doing this?
Yeah, so I had the pitching coaches watch me in catch play and in the bullpens. Just try to simplify, holding the glove kind of at a certain spot every single time, and then just dropping the ball into it with my hand, just to try and make it as simplistic as possible and something that would cover it the most as possible. So it's definitely weird to obviously have to work with, because I had never had to do anything with it before that. But
yeah,
obviously glad it got taken care of, because I don't want to get beat because I'm giving the team my pitch.
Right.
Well, you were also lined up to face the exact same lineup again, so maybe that was more of it. Not like, hey, you're sloppy up there, pal, clean it up. It's like, no, they're very ready for you again in 5 days. It may have been that, now that I'm thinking about it.
Could have been.
And still gave up like one total run, I think, against the A's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So pretty good.
Yeah, not too shabby. In terms of like experiences like that, being around big league veterans, how much better do you think you will be from just being in the big leagues versus I've learned all that I can in the minor leagues. I've matured and developed as much as I can in the minor leagues. Now it's time to take that leap. And is it because you're going to be around veterans and guys like Garrett Crochet that you can learn from, and Andrew Bailey and all those guys? Like, have you kind of maxed out what you think you can learn at the minor leagues, and now you're in a place where this is where I need to grow, this is where I need to learn?
I think I have a lot more to learn, for sure. Obviously, trying to chase the best version of myself every single day. I go out there and have catch play or in the gym or anything like that. But yeah, just picking, one guy's brain, or even picking a hitter's brain on how they're going up, trying to attack a certain lefty, or just asking them like, dude, if you were to face me, what are you looking for? Is something that's very valuable. And then obviously sitting down after the game, going over things with Bales and all the, pitching guys, just making sure process metrics are in the right spot and pitch shapes are in the right spot, and just diving into that every single day and making sure you're on top of everything is really important.
Are you a don't talk to me guy on start day?
No, I like keeping it as loose as possible, for sure. Obviously, I feel like up until about an hour and a half before the game, I'm pretty easy to talk to, but there's so many different personalities in baseball that I feel like people are almost scared to talk to pitchers on their start days, because certain guys, rightfully so, like, you probably should be scared to talk to those guys on their start day, and you don't want to bother them. So I'm not really one of those guys. I'll talk to anybody. Certain times I might be more locked in than others and just not even notice that somebody's talking to me. But
yeah, you're blacked out.
Yeah, blacked out, ready to go. Yeah.
T.
Yeah, who's the one at bat? Is there a specific one since you got to the big leagues that kind of shook you a little bit, or hit you in your head a little bit and was like, damn, I'm in the big leagues right now? Like, this guy's just on a different tier than anything you would see in the minor leagues.
Yeah, having Judge step into the box is pretty insane. He's huge. Giancarlo Stanton's huge also. Like, those guys are massive in the box. So that's a weird look. I had seen Stanton when I was in AA, and I remember him flicking a ball at like 110 off me on a changeup away that I thought I executed pretty well. So obviously, going in the outing, I'm like, damn, dude, like that guy got me once. I got him later on in that game. But yeah, those guys are massive in the box. So and guys, a bunch of people are rooting for and want to do well. So when you're in their park, when everybody's rooting for them, it's definitely a fun AB.
Coley.
I do have one more.
Well, give Coley a try.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, in this, maybe we're heading this way too, but everyone references the pitching lab, and obviously at the major league level, it's Bailey, but Justin Willard leaving this year. I don't know how hands-on you were with him. I imagine pretty. So how's that this your first offseason without a guy who you had been communicating with throughout the minors, and now it is just Bailey and new people being brought in? Has that been an easy transition? Has it been rocky, or has it not even happened yet because it's so new?
They've made it a very smooth transition. Obviously, talked to Bailey a pretty good amount now during the offseason. Obviously, in the past, I talked to Willard a good amount. Had other pitching coaches in the minor leagues as well that I was reaching out to, just because Willard is always bouncing all over the place. He's got to cover, every single different level, and got to make time for each spot. So you kind of see him for a week, probably once every month. Be able to have like a bullpen with him or something. Might be able to catch an outing, but that job's really tough, and you got to be moving all over the place. So they don't have too much time to devote to just like one or two guys, really.
Sure.
When you're sitting in your locker on start day, are you pump up music? Are you relaxing music? I think, was it Paul Skeens that said that he listens to audiobooks? Because for whatever reason, that obviously works pretty well for him. But what's the vibe that you're going for in the AirPods on start day?
I don't really have a specific, genre or vibe that I'm going for on a certain start day. It kind of just depends on my mood that day. I'm kind of all over the place with my music, but I feel like the alternative rock, classic rock is kind of the vibe that I'm most of the time on for start day for sure.
Throw some names out there. What are we talking about?
Red Hot Chili Peppers, Metallica, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong there.
If you're listening to everything, who's your favorite Virginia artist of all time?
Virginia artist, goodness, I don't know where artists are from, man.
Virginia's very proud.
It's like I gotta go Jay-Z on
that. The Clips, huge Virginia artists.
I have no idea.
Who the hell? I don't know who's from Virginia.
I
I'll
couldn't
back
tell
you
you.
up on that. I couldn't tell you one musical artist from Virginia.
I was excited. I'm like, whoever he says now, I'm gonna learn they're from Virginia. I got no clue.
Musical
Who's the top
artists
one?
From
I just
Virginia.
listed 4.
Pharrell, Jason
Missy Elliott,
Mraz,
Timbaland.
He's gonna list
the
exactly who Coley just
Neptunes,
said. Huey Mack,
Missy Elliott, Trey Songz,
Chris Brown,
Lamb of
Okay.
God, Dave Matthews,
Virginia's
Wow.
cooking, bro.
Dave
Pat
Matthews, not bad.
Benatar, Pusha T.
Yeah, it's Clips.
I don't know who 98%
I'm going to transition away from music.
Are.
Best athlete, other than removing yourself from this, best athlete from Virginia. I have my answer, but I'm interested in yours.
Best athlete from Virginia.
He doesn't know any.
I'm familiar.
I got an answer to that one, but not
Trying to
baseball.
think.
No, it's not baseball. Not yet.
I feel like Michael Vick as an answer would be frowned
Yeah, Mike Vick
upon.
was the one I would go with.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson,
Yeah, Russell Wilson's from like 30 minutes away from me.
Allen Iverson
Yeah,
is a
that's the
Virginia
answer.
guy.
There you
yeah.
go.
I didn't know
that's
he
the
was a
answer.
Virginia guy.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Plaxico
Lawrence
Burst. And he
Taylor.
should
I
be
can't
on
wait to
the-
myself
guys.
Virginia.
That's bad.
Yeah.
I can't wait to take you around Virginia and show you the town.
Yeah, that'll be the off-season homework. Just learn people from the state.
Yeah.
Verlander? Okay, not bad.
Is he really?
Yeah. Goochland County.
What? Justin Verlander? Oh, yeah, there he is. Okay.
I would have assumed Tennessee with Verlander. Don't know why.
He's like Texas, California to me.
I
Maybe
thought he
because he
would've been Cali.
pitched. I don't know. Who cares?
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Who cares? This will be the next 20 minutes. All right, wait, Darren Sharper?
Yeah. All right, one more quick break from Connelly Early to talk about Omaha Steaks. T's favorite, my favorite, Coley's favorite, Steve's favorite. Whether you're sending an unforgettable gift or treating yourself to everyday perfection, Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience. Gift USDA certified tender steaks, juicy burgers, cozy, convenient comfort meals, and so much more. And now, during their cyber sale, you can get 50% off site-wide and an extra 20% off select favorites at omahasteaks.com. Don't miss the best deals of the season and exclusive limited time offers. Plus, our listeners get an extra $35 off with the promo code Section10. That's 10 at checkout. Terms apply. See the site for details. I've said this every single time. Whenever I see that white foam box of Omaha Steaks show up at my door, I know it's about to be a fantastic couple weeks because they cram all the food into that one box. Depending on your order, I mean, we go big when we order from Omaha Steaks, but the fillets. I'm telling you right now, you've never had a better filet than Omaha Steaks. And I consider myself a steak connoisseur. I do. Omaha Steaks offers unrivaled quality and variety, and every bite is backed with their 100% guarantee. The cyber sale is the perfect time to shop for unforgettable gifts, exclusive limited time deals, and more. Plus, orders placed by 6 p.m. Eastern ship on the same day. When you get Omaha Steaks, you're sending more than a gift. You're sending an experience. From the moment that it arrives to the moment that they enjoy it, they'll be thinking of you. Take the stress out of gifting. A gift of handcrafted perfection is the kind of gift that brings people together, and you don't have to know anyone's size, which is super important, especially this time of year with the holiday season. Omaha Steaks has been America's original butcher since 1917, a family-owned company with over 100 years of expertise in the meat industry. They also carry mouth-watering burgers, chicken, pork, seafood, and delectable desserts. Save big on unforgettable gifts with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide. My screen just went blank. For 50% off site-wide and an extra 20% off select favorites during their cyber sale and an extra $35 off. Use the promo code section 10. That's 10 at checkout. Screen went off again. Using the promo code section 10 at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com. Promo code section 10 at checkout. Terms apply. See the site for details. Go to omahasteaks.com to get 50% off site-wide and an extra 20% off select favorites and more limited time deals during their cyber sale. Use the promo code section 10 at checkout for an extra $35 off. Minimum purchase may apply. See the site for details. A big thanks to Omaha Steaks. And also, as always, shout out to Ethos. You or your friend experience a loss, which has you thinking about how secure your family's financial future is going to be. You're the breadwinner of your family. You want to make sure your loss of income is covered, like keeping up with mortgage, tuition, other bills, etc. Had a new baby, planning for the new future. Bought a house and want to ensure that if anything happened to you, you could cover the family mortgage. That's where Ethos comes in. It's been a lifesaver for me and my family. Very happy to have Ethos as part of our financial equation. There is no complicated process. It's 100% online, no medical exam required. You just answer a few health questions, get a quote in as little as 10 minutes. You can get same-day coverage without ever leaving your house. You can get up to $3 million in coverage. Some policies as low as $2 a day, billed monthly. Ethos is a trustworthy company that disrupts the traditional life insurance industry. Protect your family with life insurance from Ethos. Get your free quote at ethos.com/section 10. That's 10. Ethos, ethos.com/section 10. Application times may vary and rates may vary. Shout out to Game Time. The Game Time app gives the advantage back to fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in just a few taps. It's incredibly easy to use. And the Game Time guarantee means that you can trust that you'll get 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. Plus, fees are always included. So what you see is what you pay. I will be using the Game Time app this holiday season, as I always do. It's not a surprise. I'm not ruining the surprise, but I usually get my sister Bruins tickets. I'll be using the Game Time app for that. I don't know. Maybe my dad might enjoy a concert experience this year. I've gotten him concert tickets in the past, but I mean, I feel like I want to go big. I want to go big with it. So that's where the Game Time app comes in. You can know your total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. Save even more when you choose a section. You let Game Time choose the seats for you. Snag new ticket deals before anyone finds out by following your favorite teams in the Game Time app to receive alerts. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy your tickets. The lowest price guarantee. Your Game Time will credit you 100%, 110% of the difference. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry today. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code section10 for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, use the promo code section10, SECTION10 for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. Back to the show. You've got a cross-country flight, Boston to LA. You're going to play the Dodgers. You've got 6 hours to kill on that flight. How are you divvying up those 6 hours? Are we doing like Netflix? Are we doing music? Are we doing audiobook? Are we reading a book? Are we playing cards? Like, how are we splitting up 6 hours on a plane?
True Media.
True Media, which is, yeah.
So yeah, so
some tiny guy. Anyone see
True
this?
Media.
Yeah.
No, I'm probably listening to music for about an hour of it. I'd say watch some sort of movie in there as well. So
What movie?
What movie are you watching, man?
Yeah.
Come on.
Tell us.
Tell us now.
The Accountant's a good one.
Oh, okay.
Inglourious Bastards is a good one. The Bourne Identity movie's pretty good.
You ever see Titanic?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Tyler's never seen it. Tyler's not of this world. Like, I don't know what he does in his spare time. Like, he's like into like Pokemon.
I don't need to watch
shit.
a boat sink.
That's like 20 minutes out of the 3.5 hours.
The whole point of the film.
It's not the whole point of the film. That's not the whole point.
They're not making a film on that ship without the sinking.
I agree.
It's the climax.
I guess.
It's about the love.
Yeah, it's about the love.
Yeah, the romantic aspect.
Yeah, that happens because the boat's going down.
Exactly. Connelly gets it. He saw it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about the romantic aspect of it, T. That's why you're a barn animal and you have no societal cues. That's why.
Neither did Rose. She pushed him off that door. So much for love.
And science says they both could have fit.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I would have just swam. You don't have to go and drown.
You float.
Did you call me a parade float?
I did not say that. I did not say that.
Connelly, did you hear that?
Would float.
I didn't hear that.
Hey, it's that
right.
time of year where it's almost parade time.
Yeah. Jeez. That's awful.
That'll be someone's takeaway. Remember when Connelly called T a parade float? Yeah. No one saw that coming. He just out of nowhere.
Talking
Hovering
movies.
down 7th Ave on Thanksgiving would be horrifying.
That's awful. Connelly, we will be interviewing your manager right after this. Do you have a question that you would like to relay to us to ask to him?
Question for AC. Ask him what his goal weight for me is.
Okay.
There we go.
What are you at right now?
I'm at 214 right now.
Okay, this is the heaviest you've ever
Same,
been.
brother.
By like 12 pounds, yes.
214. At what height?
Must be nice.
I'm surprised you're 214. Wow.
6'3". 6'3", 214. Steve is 6'4", 275.
I'm 6'2",
What were you entering the
215.
year?
What?
What'd you say?
What were you entering the year?
Entering the year, I was like right around 200.
Right around 200.
Played at 198 to 202 most of the season.
Yeah, see, it's tough. It's tough to put on weight as a pitcher because like you can't do like bulky meathead workouts because you have to be flexible. You got to be bendy. That's got to be a pain in the ass. You're probably just eating like a lot of like pasta. Like, what do you do? How do you put on 15 pounds if you can't be like benching 225 and doing shoulder press and all that?
Well, I've been getting after it a little bit more in the weight room. Obviously in the off season, you're not throwing at such a high intensity, so you can get after it a little bit more in the weight room. But in season, it's definitely tough to put on muscle and everything. Just with trying to stay flexible and not trying to make yourself too sore.
Well, just ask Chapman what he does. I mean, I feel like that works.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, I think Chapman's not human. He's like a different animal. So I don't think anybody else can ever be like him.
As I've addressed prior.
I'm not going to name names. I had a conversation with a teammate of yours who claims that Chapman doesn't have great calves. Like he's not well built in the calves there. He's got monster quads, but he doesn't have great calves, which just to me says it's genetics, which I've been saying all along.
Calves,
like everyone's
genetics.
like, it's all genetics. Like you can do all your calf raises, standing, sitting, no matter what. You're not going to grow them things. So if you have skinny legs, it's fine if you get calf implants. Agree?
You speaking to me? Jared's been referencing calves for the last decade. It's crazy.
I'm just saying.
Some of the best calves you've ever seen in your life.
Nah, I disagree. I disagree with that. I'm just saying.
A lot of people talk
doesn't
about
have
them.
some of the best calves that we've ever seen in the entire world. T, did you say you have one last one from the manifesto?
Yes, and I'm going to get cooked for it, but I don't care. When you made your debut, I had a comment on the podcast that imagine if Connelly Early and Kyle Teel was still in the organization, if he had caught this start and kind of what it would have been. Obviously, teammates in college when he got traded. Was that kind of like a sad moment for you that you guys weren't going to have this journey, maybe moment in the big leagues together? Or was it just, hey, that's the business of baseball. Best of luck. And we'll see you on the field.
Definitely stunk that he got traded for sure. Obviously, the return to Scarecrow in that trade, so you can't be too upset with that one.
Right.
And Crochet's also a great dude, but I still keep in touch with Kyle to this day. Hang out with him a ton when I can, talk to him, play video games, do whatever, just to keep in touch with him. But yeah, I mean, he's an animal behind the dish and had a pretty good season, kept up with them, and excited about him.
As you should be, you know. I feel like that's an exciting person. I think it would be funny if Alex Cora actually showed up while you were here.
I agree.
Yeah. I just sent him the link right now. Yeah, we'll see if he pops in.
What are you playing these days? What are you guys jumping on the sticks with?
Most of the time play Call of Duty or Rocket League.
Oh wow.
What is Rocket League?
Car soccer.
Yeah, car soccer. It's chaos. You would hate it. You would hate
it. Would be your least favorite game ever. Yeah, it's a lot.
Why?
You don't
just doesn't seem like a Jerry game.
I hate soccer. Yeah,
I don't know.
It might be the kind of game he needs, though. It's not too complicated. It's kind of just.
Are you calling me stupid?
No, but if something requires a lot of work, you're immediately going to be out. Like you're not going to sit there and
nasty
grind.
at that, though. Jerry would get cooked. Like,
we're playing public matches.
Well,
we're
same
not
with
playing
Call
ranked.
of Duty. People are nasty at that too.
I like Call of Duty. I haven't played in a very long time, but I would like to get back into it. It's just like. It's too confusing for me. Like I don't know what system to have because
PS5.
Yeah, there's PlayStation people, there's Xbox people, and then it's like, all right, the new game comes out, and within 3 weeks, all the little 11-year-olds are already like experts at it. So you go on there and you just get killed by children. Can't have that. And they're all on the PC. Isn't that how it works? Like, can't you, like, if you're on an Xbox, don't you, like, play against people that are on the PC and it's way easier on the PC?
Definitely not easier.
Excuse some people come up with. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite COD, Connelly?
Not a specific one comes to mind. I didn't grow up playing Call of Duty when I was younger. Okay. Didn't really have any shooting games. Always played, like, Madden and, you know, all the sports games growing up with my brothers. But
you ever do Prop Hunt by chance? That's my favorite game ever on Call of Duty.
What?
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I do. Okay, Prop Hunt's the best. You're just like, hi, with props, and you got to shoot the props. Jared hates this, but it's fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know who Kieran Culkin is, Connelly?
No.
Actually, this is a good question.
See?
Oh, damn it.
Look at that. Let's go.
That one, I expected him to say no.
Why?
He's a busy guy. He didn't reference a single television program this entire time.
That is fair. We should ask everyone that comes on here
you
if
didn't
they
know
know
anyone
Kieran
from
Culkin.
Virginia 5 seconds ago.
That's true.
You got me there.
Yeah.
That's good.
I like it. You're dialed in. You're focused on the prize.
Right.
What's going on here.
That's what I want my baseball guys to be. I want them locked in on baseball and putting on lean muscle mass.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want. Yeah. If you need workout plans, ask Steve. He's got them all.
100%. That's all I'm doing all off season is working out, dude. Lifting and
in the
lifting
gym
and crunches.
Yeah.
Push-ups, man. I got them.
Dips, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Dips. Yep. Flip dips. Yep.
Looks like your manager's late, so I'm gonna let you go, Connelly. We've taken up too much of your time, to be honest. But thank you so much for hopping on with us. We'll definitely have to do this again. I know people will be very excited to see your name on the episode title. Of the people have been requesting. Actually, I asked Tyler, I was like, make your dream guest list of whoever you want on the podcast. And he gave me 78 names, and you were like somewhere in the top 10, which was just what a blessing.
I'm a day one.
That is a blessing.
It is. It is. It is. But thank you so much for hopping on. And we'll have to do this again once you continue to dominate for the Boston Red Sox.
Sounds good. Thank y'all for having me.
Anytime, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Yep.
It was a blast.
I'll see y'all.
Buenas noches, amigos.